The time was the 1970s, the high watermark of the tennis boom. And tennis players weren't just athletes, they were rock stars. Crossover cultural icons commanding big-time attention all over the world. And so Tennis Channel is pleased to offer an exclusive presentation of one of that era's finest events, the nationally televised Pepsi Grand Slam, a four-man ATP tournament that took place from 1976 to 1980. The Pepsi Grand Slam, a high-stakes shootout featuring the game's very best. The passionate Jimmy Connors always leaving it all on the court. His biggest rival, the understated Swede, Bjorn Borg. The young John McEnroe making his way to the top. Arthur Ashe, classy and compelling. And a host of other top players, Vitas Gerulaitis, Manuel Orantes, Brian Gottlieb, and the dashing Argentine, Guillermo Vilas. They're all here, giving their all. It's the Pepsi Grand Slam, only on Tennis Channel.
Yes. Oh, that's just too good.
Biggest shot of this match by far.
Beautiful.
Hi, I'm Kevin Frazier, and welcome to Tennis Channel Classics. You know, throughout the history of tennis, there have been special events that really promote our sport in ways that are both innovative and engaging. Now, one such competition began in 1976. It was called the Pepsi Grand Slam, a four-man ATP event pitting a quartet of the game's very best male players, and often including those who'd recently earned Grand Slam singles titles. It aired on national TV on CBS, and the compressed format of the Grand Slam was exceptionally compelling, and these were fierce battles. Now, rarely was a tennis match more combative than when Bjorn Borg and Jimmy Connors went at it. As these two took the court for the 1979 Pepsi Grand Slam final, their rivalry was etching its way into the history books. Over the previous 3 years, they met in 4 Grand Slam finals, Bjork taking 2 at Wimbledon, Connors gaining a little bit of payback with a pair of final round wins at the U.S. Open. As Connors put it later, quote, "We just beat each other to death." And that made it oh so good for us. We take you now to CBS's Pat Summerall and Tony Trabert and Tennis Channel's presentation of the 1979 Pepsi Grand Slam final between Bjorn Borg and Jimmy Connors.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Boca West Racket Club. I'm Pat Summerall with our Davis Cup captain, Tony Trabert. You couldn't ask for better playing conditions for this final between Borg and Connors. And what about the contrast? Styles, Captain.
Well, Pat, you know, Borg is going to be very patient, a lot of loop shots. He's waiting for Connors to try to come in so he can make the passing shot or force Connors into an error. Jimmy's going to be looking for the short ball. If it bounces up, he'll take it at the top of the bounce. He'll try to attack as much as he can. The last 2 times they played, the match has been great, and I think this one should also be a very good one.
Well, you certainly recall last year in the final here and how good that was.
It certainly was. A 3-set match. Both finals with Borg and Connors have been 3 sets. There's no reason to think that this won't be a very close match.
Whoever wins gets $150,000. So let's go down now for a closer look at the 2 contestants, Connors and Borg. As Tony Trabert said just a second ago, Connors will ever be the aggressor. No matter who he plays, that's his style. Borg will be patient. No matter who he plays, that's his style.
Certainly going at it. Jimmy is going to make some errors in his effort to try to be very aggressive, but he hopes that he can cut the errors down and attack as much as possible. Borg, again, is going to be the patient one. We'll see some topspin lobs from him, I'm sure. He can hit the passing shots either way, so it's going to be a very interesting match, a real contrast in styles.
Tony, when Connors beat McEnroe on Friday, the weather conditions were very windy and very difficult to play tennis. Yesterday it was better when Borg beat Vilas, and today it's just about perfect.
It certainly is, Pat. Conditions should be excellent.
Here now to welcome you to this tournament is Mr. John Scully, President, Pepsi-Cola Company.
I'm on. Yeah.
Tony, you mentioned that Connors had beaten Borg the last 2 times they had played. The all-time record is 10-6 in favor of Connors. He beat him in Buenos Aires. He also beat him in the finals of the U.S. Open, but I sort of drop a little of the significance to that because Borg had a very, very severe blister on his thumb, and he was not himself. I don't think there's any question about that.
I think that's certainly fair to say, Pat. And the thing about this surface is it's slow, and that helps Borg. That's why I think he's favored to win this match.
There's the prize money breakdown. First place, as we mentioned before, $150,000. The winner of this gets that. Whoever loses gets $75,000 for finishing second. John McEnroe earlier today beat Guillermo Vilas, and he got the $45,000 third place prize. And Vilas wound up with $30,000, and you can hear the crowd starting to respond to the fact that we're just about ready to go in the Grand Slam of tennis. This has been, well, there's Mike Blanchard, who will sit in the umpire's chair, and there is no one more capable than he.
That's certainly true. He's been involved in the game for a long, long time. Might have heard him announce that Borg won the toss and elected to receive. So Connors will start from the far end. The wind is a little bit in his face. Borg has whatever wind there is at his back, so the ball will carry a little bit farther on lobs and things from this end of the court. Borg's in.
Blanchard says play, and here we go.
Not a bad way to start a tennis match. And if that point is indicative of the quality we're going to have, it's going to be something else.
This place accommodates somewhere over 10,000 people. And the attendance has been fantastic, and as you would expect, it is occupied today.
I don't think there's anyone playing the game that takes the ball as early as Connors does. So in this kind of a court, he wants to get it as high as he can on the bounce so he has the best possible angle into the court. Well, thus far, Pat, we have not had an error. We've had 3 winners. And on any surface, that's pretty good. But on a clay court, an on-2 court like this, it's something else. I think the purpose of that drop shot by Connors was not so much to win the point outright, but to get Borg up to the net where the ball's low. He can't hit it too hard, and that gives Connors a good chance at a passing shot.
Borg got there, he just couldn't make the shot.
first game of the first set.
What would you say to a deep pain relief cream that can naturally begin to relieve arthritis pain, joint stiffness, and muscle aches in 30 minutes or less?
Myomed.
Presenting Myomed, the natural deep pain reliever. What would you say to an odor-free, non-irritating cream that penetrates deep for pain relief to sore muscles, tendons, ligaments, and arthritic joints?
Myomed.
New Myomed, the odor-free, non-irritating, natural deep pain reliever. What would you say to a cream with a unique delivery system that can target pain relief straight to the parts of your body that need it most?
Myomed.
New Myomed, the targeted, odor-free, non-irritating, natural deep pain reliever. Now what would you say if I told you you can try Myomed for free?
My.
Now for a limited time, get a free supply of Myomed and a free copy of the 9 Secrets to Pain-Free Living. New Myomed is the deep pain relief cream that is non-prescription and safe. In 30 minutes or less, Myomed's clinically proven ingredients begin to relieve arthritis pain, joint stiffness, and muscle aches. So what would you say to a deep pain relief cream that makes it easy to carry life's biggest bundle of joy?
Myomed.
Myomed, the targeted, odor-free, non-irritating, natural deep pain reliever. And did I mention that you can try Myomed for free? Call now and ask if you can get your free supply of safe, natural, non-prescription Myomed. You'll also receive your free copy of the 9 Secrets to Pain-Free Living. This offer is not available in any store and is for a limited time only. Call this number now for your free month's trial supply and book, or visit myomednow.com.
There are more than just 2 fine tennis players in attendance here. Marty Reeson, the director of tennis at Boca West at the Racket Club here, looking on with his wife sitting on his left, April. Fine athlete.
Got a new hairdo.
Still a fine athlete.
Yeah, he played basketball at Northwestern, done a marvelous job in tennis. We get a close-up look at Borg. You'll see that his left hand is taped on the palm, and his right thumb is taped, but it doesn't seem to bother him.
Right thumb is where he had the problem in the U.S. Open.
Most players stay off of Borg's forehand, the one-handed side, as much as possible because they feel that's a stronger shot. Connors has played it quite a bit so far. Borg doesn't act like he's really loosened up yet. I don't know at what time he warmed up this morning, but seems not to be moving as well as he normally does.
How much would you warm up on the day before a match like this?
Half an hour. I would, but it varies with each player. And it's break point for Connors.
Quiet, please. Yes.
Another break point for Connors.
At edge, Connors.
Connors has said throughout the week that he felt he was a better player on surfaces like this, slow, because of his increased patience.
You certainly have to have that on this kind of a court, and particularly against a player like Borg.
And he just exhibits. Well, maybe not.
Yes.
Well, you know, Connors is always hitting the ball, you know, most of the time real hard, and he's going to make some errors because he's taking chances, but he's going to get a lot of benefit. You know, he makes a good shot. Just wide. And another break point for Connors.
I would think that ball that Connors just watched fly by would have been a tough one to let go, because it was very close.
It was, but I don't think he could reach it and make much of a play on it. So at that point, you decide to let it go and hope it goes out. So on each break point, Connors has ended up making an error. We're back to deuce. It's kind of a game lets both players settle in a little bit because they're hitting a lot of tennis balls and a lot of running.
Good serve from Borg. Connors won the first game. $150,000 champion.
Awfully good pressure put on that time by Connors. 1 2-hander into the backhand corner. Had a lot of pace and depth. That's what set up the next shot. Again, it's deuce. That's out.
At edge, Borg.
Borg escapes. Games are 1-all.
Games are 1-all.
Good passing shot by Borg. Take another look and you see Connors on the attack. Off that short ball. In he comes. Borg rolls it right up the line. Connors really couldn't reach it, and it landed about a foot wide. Come back live at Love 15. I was surprised to see Connors hit that one in the air because there is some breeze down there, and it was a high one, but he hit it right on the nose for a winner.
Breeze at his back.
If you don't get over the ball from Connors' end, the near end, it's tough to keep it in. You've got to get a little topspin on the ball or be very careful with anything else you do. That's out.
Out. 15-30.
Shot would have been in the court had it not hit the top of the net. That's the kind of shot talking about. That is a double break point now for Borg. Connors hits under that one-handed side with a little bit of breeze at his back, and it's tough to keep that ball down and get it into the court.
Bjorn Borg has broken serve, and he now leads 2 games to 1 in the first set.
They were a series of memorable matches, pitting the best players of a golden era against each other. Great names, legendary figures, like Connors, Borg, McEnroe, Ashe, Gerolaitis, and more. The competition was fierce, the rivalries unequal. The Pepsi Grand Slam of tennis, 1978 semifinal. Jimmy Connors versus Vitas Gerolaitis. Tomorrow night at 8:30 on Tennis Channel, home of the Slams.
The Davis Cup has been something I always dreamed that maybe one day I'd have a chance to do. It's something that you feel when you go out there on the court and you're representing the country and you're representing all the fans of tennis and people that, you know, support the Davis Cup and sort of understand what it's about. It's really an honor to walk out and sort of be the leader of that program.
Yeah, my favorite moment for sure was my first win, because it was just about a month after 9/11, so there was kind of a buzz in the crowd, just being very respectful, but also proud to be American and proud of the country. It was such an incredible feeling that I'll never forget.
Finds the breakthrough.
It was always something that I wanted to do, and also at the time I started playing, there was no Olympic tennis. So it was the only way to represent your country and to try to do something as a team, which I like to do.
Talk about people in the stands that are great tennis players. You're looking at one right there, maybe the all-time great, Mr. Jack Kramer, a great friend.
And Tony, he's been so very instrumental in the development of this game. There is some other good news that we'll give. We have an opportunity now about a very significant development that took place today. To make Jack Kramer happy and you happy and all tennis fans. In essence, the announcement that was made today is that the Men's International Professional Tennis Council and the top 5 players in the world, 4 of whom are here, have reached an agreement that will ensure the players' participation in the 1979 Grand Prix tournaments.
Great news. That's Connors, Borg, Vilas, McEnroe, and Gerolaitis, who are threatening to boycott the tour. These are taped lines on this tennis court, and the previous shot before Connor's error, his ball hit on the service line. It takes a very different bounce. Borg did a good job just to get it back. Connors was certainly looking for that forehand to come up the line. He judged correctly.
Made it look routine. Sort of a typical Borg-Connors point. Connors on the attack. Borg, the counterpuncher, able to make the passing shot. 30-all. Borg leads 2-1 first set.
40-30.
It's the best 2 out of 3.
We'll see so often in this match, Pat, when Borg's topspin shot lands short around that service line, Connor's going to take it, try to really ram it one way or the other and come in behind it. Another look, and you'll see with this Connors two-hander really got Borg in trouble. And then the little drop shot. Borg was too deep in the court to get to it. As we come back to live action, it is break point for Connors. Take another look, and you'll see that Connors guesses right.
Yes.
Not a good drop volley here. Borg tried to hold a shot and fool him at last minute by rolling it cross court. Connors got there. Now watch this. Connors was looking for the ball to come back up the line. He never even go back to the center. Borg way out of position, and Jimmy couldn't get it over the net. So we come back, and it's deuce.
Borg serving. And now it's advantage Borg.
Advantage Borg.
That was a big miss, Pat. Down a service break, and it was a point to get even. Jimmy maybe tried to play a little too fine.
Again, he got the short ball, and again he came in, as you pointed out before.
Right. Connors didn't hit his ball as deep as he'd like to, but he got away with it. Of course, Borg didn't get his attempt at the passing shot near enough to the sideline. But it's constant pressure by Connors, and it's the counter-puncher in Borg trying to make the passing shot.
And they both do it extremely well. I guess that's why they're ranked number 1 and 2 in the world.
I was just thinking that, Pat. You're right. We were treated to see the 2 best. Just long. And Borg has struggled and held his serve.
Yes.
You can see the mark beyond the baseline, about 2 inches over the baseline.
Borg leads 3 games to 1.
Shot. There is Harry Hopman with the sunglasses on, the Davis Cup captain and leader of Australia for so many years, and directly behind him is Leonard Berglund, who played Davis Cup for Sweden for so many years and is the coach of Bjorn Borg. Both fine gentlemen, very astute in the game of tennis. That serve hit right.
Really, when they hit on the line, the whole picture changes.
Yeah, you better have that racket ready in the hitting position because it comes through faster and lower. So Jimmy Connors has held his serve, and Borg now leads 3 games to 2 in the first set.
Hi, welcome to Progressive.com. How can I help you?
Well, I haven't shopped for car insurance in a while.
And you're worried that you've been paying too much, right?
Yeah. So how can I know I'm getting a good deal?
We can compare your Progressive Direct rate with other top companies.
Wow. Seriously?
Yeah. Look at the deal we just got him.
That's a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, or a big tricked out name tag.
Making sure you get a great deal. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
I've got a great fitness tip to develop more power in your play. One of the keys to putting power in your play is to make sure you have a strong core. Why does that matter to a tennis player? Because when you hit the ball, there's a transfer of energy from the lower half of your body up through the middle to part of the body. We have a simple exercise called the prone plank, which works on it. So what we got to do with Mike is we're going to have him lay flat down on his stomach. The first thing we want to do once he's down here is establish what we call joint stacking and tracking. So Mike makes sure that his elbows are directly underneath his shoulders, and down at his feet, his toes are directly underneath his ankles. From there, keeping nice and long, he's going to press himself off of the ground, strong through the abs, and also strong through his entire body. Again, joint stack and track, elbows under shoulders, toes underneath the ankles. If you work on this just a little bit, a couple times a week, soon you're going to take what is your weakest link and make it one of your greatest strengths.
For more 1-minute clinics, go to tennischannel.com/OMC.
Happy birthday, Tennis Channel. High five.
NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle, who's been playing a lot of tennis this weekend. And in addition to being on the telephone with many affairs pertaining to professional football, pretty good event he ran down here.
Yeah,
Not in Boca, but in Miami.
Super Bowl is something else, wasn't it? You know, Pat, earlier we were talking about the agreement that was reached with the 5 top players and the pro council, and I said the players threatened to boycott it. Maybe that's not the accurate statement. Those 5 players didn't think that the rules presented to them, the options were fair, and they have worked out an agreement so everyone's happy and it's the best interest of the game. So I certainly don't want to paint a different picture than really happened.
Connors in the near court. Borg missing wide with that shot. Borg leads 3-2 in the first set. Grand Slam of tennis. The 4 top players in the world began play on Friday. Connors against McEnroe. Yesterday, Borg against Vilas. At the survivors.
Didn't go over. Connors beat McEnroe 6-3, 6-4. Borg beat Vilas 6-3, 6-3. That's how they got here.
Fine serve by Bjorn Borg. Some smoke. Tony, that means that that agreement you were just talking about a minute ago means that the top 5, the 5 that we mentioned, will be playing in the Grand Prix Masters.
Right.
Service ace. And Borg gets the first one.
40-15.
That is assuming they qualify.
Right, that's true.
Very strong game by Borg. Served well.
He leads 4 games to 2.
Just to finish off that topic, Pat, the players will now participate in the 1979 Grand Prix tournaments, the Grand Prix bonus pool, and the Colgate Masters, along with all the other players. So that's settled.
15 love.
Sort of the name of the game. Is Connors going to make the error, being able to make the good force? Borg makes you hit a lot of tennis balls.
Seems to me like you were saying earlier that he wasn't quite with it yet. I think he is now.
Certainly is. Pat, it's interesting to watch because you barely move Connors very far behind the baseline. Sometimes you can move Borg and other players fairly deep behind the baseline, but Connors is always just behind it or on the baseline or inside. He's always trying to take it early. Ball jumps up and he's trying to get it on the way up. Lorne Kuehl with his hand up to his face, and he is works with Jimmy Connors and travels with him.
Lorne used to Bobby Riggs, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And it's break point for Borg.
Jimmy's a little bit mad at himself.
Oh, you just can't afford to make those kind of errors against a guy like Borg.
Just about can't afford to make any.
That's out, and Borg has 2 service breaks and now leads 5-2 in the first set.
We'll have more of the Grand Slam of tennis after this word from your local station.
Tommy Bahama presents Tennis in Paradise, Maui. With lots of sun, sand, and surf, Maui is a great escape. At the award-winning Kapalua Tennis Garden, you'll play on one of 10 courts surrounded by lush tropical foliage and stunning views. After a morning of tennis, trade in your racket for a golf club. Hit the links right next door. Kapalua is also home to 2 gorgeous championship 18-hole golf courses. Get into the aloha spirit by slowing down a bit and socializing with friends, both old and new. The Shops at Wailea is a great spot to relax over delicious food and drink. Then, get close to nature by heading to the gorgeous Iao Valley. It's a breathtaking hike along cascading waterfalls and crystalline pools. It truly is paradise. Find out more about this tennis paradise at tennischannel.com.
Borg leads the first set in this best 2 out of 3 final for the $150,000 first prize. His match against Jimmy Connors.
Who do you think the people are for? Sort of, it's mixed, almost seems even, doesn't it?
Very much so. Connors rips off a forehand winner.
Connors gets down like this. Sometimes he tries to pick up the tempo, even walks faster, trying to get the adrenaline flow and get pumped up, as he says. Borg will do his best not to let him get pumped up.
Times also when he starts to try to pump himself up, he gets involved with people in the stands. Says that helps.
That's good.
15-30.
One thing you know about Borg, he's not going to change his style of play. He's going to play the same way all the way through the match.
Another thing you know is you're not going to wear him out. Either one of them.
That's right. awfully tough on this kind of a court to keep trying to hit winners, keep taking all the chances.
Which, of course, so far is what Connors is doing. And the way he always does, for that matter. Nothing unusual, nothing new.
So it's set point for Borg.
And the first set to Bjorn Borg. 6-2. Tony, you mentioned that you always know that Borg is not going to change his style. What about Connors now after losing the set 6-2?
Well, I think, Pat, he basically will always continue to try to attack, but I think he might be wise to be a little more patient. We talked about patience early, but be willing to rally, hit more balls, and get exactly what you want.
That's all. Good guess by Borg.
We'll take another look, and you'll see good court coverage by Borg and the constant pressure by Connors. This one almost went over Connors' head. He did a good job just to make a good shot. Now Borg's out of the picture. Connors gently blocks into the open court. Come back live, 15 love.
First game of the second set. Borg won the first one, 6-2. Saw Bilas yesterday do something similar to that. Connors has made a lot of errors trying to come in on that short ball and hitting the ball into the net. Bilas did it quite a few times.
Well, when you come in against Borg, you know he's going to make good passing shots, and I guess the tendency is to press a little bit. Of course, Connors always goes after the approach shot anyway if it's high.
Here he comes.
There he goes.
Disguised passing shot by Borg.
Double break point. First game of the second set. Borg broke Connors twice in the first set to win at 6-2. Wide.
Second set.
August 22nd, 2004, Chilean Nicolas Massou nets Marty Fish in a 5-set thriller to garner Olympic gold in Athens. But one wasn't enough for Massou, as he reeled in yet another gold medal, teaming with compatriot Fernando Gonzalez to win the doubles title, bringing home Chile its first ever Olympic gold medals.
Murphy Jensen's busting out in Beijing.
Oh, you're a superstar.
Don't miss Murphy's Guide to Beijing. Premieres December 8th at 9:30 p.m. only on Tennis Channel. Like the famous Stevie Wonder song, tennis players can be very superstitious.
Tennis players are superstitious like most athletes.
The superstitions are more for people just to feel comfortable.
I sometimes do it as well. If I hit an ace or big serve and win the point with it, I take the same ball to serve with the next point.
When the umpire says time, do the same wiping off the two arms and then twice on the head, twice on the racket, and then I'm ready to go.
Placing your bags in your room a certain way and not moving them the whole week.
I just found a penny out on the court today. I have to find it. When I find the penny, it's on heads. I put it in my bag.
I only do it if it's on tails. Kind of keep to the same routine, but I don't know about like rabbit's feet and stepping over lines or anything like that.
I think we're pretty much superstitious. We just don't maybe show it so much, or we don't talk about this, but we are.
Hi, I'm Marty Fish, and you're watching Tennis Channel, home of the slams.
Every champion has a certain aura, but no mystique was more distinctive than Bjorn Borg's. Everything from his ambling walk to his wardrobe, those tiny shorts, how did he play tennis in those tiny shorts, to his tranquil manner, made the Swede tennis's version of a subdued yet really dazzling rock star. As his coach Leonard Berglund put it, Borg was a man with ice water in his veins.
Borg, 1-love in the second set, won the first one 6-2, and someone just yelled up to us that Borg is invincible. What do you think?
I don't think anyone is invincible, but I must say he's played a super match so far. That volley he picked off to break serve was as much just sheer instinct and athletic ability. He had to guess, and he guessed right, and had that racket just in the right place. Showing new balls to Connors. That's a fine shot. When you see a shot like that, Pat, where Borg doesn't get close to it, because Connors normally would pull that ball cross court, and so we have Borg leaning that way. So when you go the other way with any deception on the shot, it worked very well for you. Love 30, so Connors doing his best to get that service break back right away. He missed it. Another great save by Borg. Take another look and you'll see Borg's in real trouble right after this shot. Now Borg hustles cross court and not only gets to it, but makes an offensive lob that Connors has just stretched out to reach. Tried to stiff arm it and hits it wide. 15-30. That's a big point.
Syphilis.
30-all.
Scores last year when Borg beat Connors were 7-6, 3-6, 6-1. That was a classic.
baseline and snapped that forehand topspin shot right back down the line for a winner, and it's now 40-30.
There's love 30 in this game.
Take another look, and if you want to see some court coverage, watch this. Unlucky for Connors, the ball hits the net. Now look at the distance. Borg gets to it just the last minute and flicks it up the line past Connors. He's trying to track it down. He can't catch up to it. Has to watch it bounce the second time.
Incredible.
Borg now leads 2 games to love in the second set. He has won the first 6-2. That's out.
15 love.
That's wide.
15 all.
Jimmy very upset with himself. He knows he can't make those unforced errors if he's going to be successful against Borg on this kind of a surface.
Their head-to-head record again is 10-6 Connors, including the last 2 times. But I've never seen him look this frustrated as he does now.
Actually, Borg has beaten Connors in the finals here the last 2 years, but Connors has wins over Borg the last 2 times they played in '78. In the finals of the U.S. Open and the finals in the competition in Buenos Aires. Shot for Connors. Again, it looked like Borg might sneak one down the line. Take another look. Short, but a lot of pace on it. Look at the shot Borg makes, and then Connors reach out almost back to the net and makes a cross-court volley for a win.
Good serve.
And Connors has held serve, so Borg now leads 2 games to 1 in the second set.
To feel you all around me and to take your hand along the sand.
What is the sign of a good decision? In the world of personal finance, it's Mass Mutual. Ask your advisor or visit massmutual.com.
Tennis Channel presents Bag Check. Look at all the gear the players are carrying around. Today on Bag Check, Ivan Ljubicic.
Hello, I'm Ivan Ljubicic and this is my back check. Well, first of all, I have a hat and a knee band. It's pretty simple, just put it around your knee. With this I can play without pain. All type of sunscreens. I have a book. One of my favorite writers, Croatian, Ante Tomic, really funny guy. Oprosti, nema oprosti, kaže tata tvrdo. As I said, funny guy. I have a string saver. You take one line of this plastic thing, you put it in here, lift it, and you put one of these things between the string, and you can play half an hour, 1 hour, maybe sometimes even 2 hours longer than what you would usually do. I don't like to put this logo on top. This is the way I do, or like this. Of course, I wouldn't go like this. I'm Ivan Ljubicic, this was my back check, and see you next time.
This has been Bag Check. Get bag checks on all your favorite players only on Tennis Channel.
While we have a second, while the players are coming out, a chance for us to remind you about the NBA on CBS regional games. Washington against Seattle, Chicago at Kansas City. Next Sunday at 3:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Consult your local listings for the game and time in your area. And another reminder, following this match, most of our West Coast viewers will see the challenge of the sexes and then the NBA on CBS, and that will be those same Kansas City Kings against Los Angeles. Kansas City playing awfully well. So are the Lakers, for that matter.
If they're tied for first in their division, I think.
So is Borg playing very well, as a matter of fact.
Looked like Borg was going to go cross court with that forehand, and at the last minute he went back up the line with it.
Boy, he hides it well, doesn't he?
Yeah, good deception. So important.
I think a lot of us who play just on the weekends don't even realize what all that's all about.
I never kicked the field goal. Big serve by Borg. So 2 points in a row. He gets errors off the return of serve and now leads 40-love. Trying to stretch his lead to 3-1 in the second set.
Just wide, just barely missed an ace.
Just missed.
Even more difficult to realize, I think, as a viewer, how well Borg is serving now, because the strength of that man, Connors, is really service return.
Right. 2 or 3 years ago, Borg just started the point with his serve, and he's improved it just tremendously.
Hard to realize also that he's just 22 years old.
That's out. Again, Borg held that shot to the very last minute. We'll take another look and watch when Borg gets up to the drop volley. He'll have his racket just partially back. He doesn't take a ball. Watch him when he gets up to it now. The racket's ready, just holds it there. The last time he'd gone cross court, and that time he just rolled it up the line. If you hold the ball like that, your opponent has to make a move. If he does it, you have the open, you complete the shot. Connors now serving at 1-3 second set.
Another illustration, Trey, of what we were talking about a minute ago about disguising the shot.
Right.
For those of us who don't understand.
Well, I'll tell you, just like a surgeon, up to this point, he's mixed up his passing shots well, made some fantastic gets. Just had a response for almost everything that Connors has thus far. Connors had the good depth on the approach shot. Made it tough for Borg to get the ball down. out as you watch Borg rally. He doesn't really hit the ball too close to the sidelines, and he's just keeping the ball in play. He only tries to do that when he comes to the net or when he's going to attack off of a short ball.
It works. Good serve from Connors. Mishit by Borg. I think it might have gotten the tape.
People hollering encouragement to each player, a little disruptive to them.
Oh, yeah. Boy, you look around this place, and people are standing in the corners, up on top of the stands.
It's a full house, and then some.
Aisles in some place are occupied. Borg walks away as somebody yelled out of the stand. Puts a little rosin on the handle of the racket, which you'll notice if you look at it is wrapped a little higher than normal because of his two-handed style.
And it's break point for Borg. That's a good example of Borg not trying to make the winning passing shot off the first shot, but set it up with Connors out of position, so the second one was simpler. Connors keeps coming.
And if it's well done by Borg, or if it's a mistake by Borg, he never changes the way he looks.
No, but you watch those eyes. He knows everything that's going on out there. All good players do that.
Looks like he can see right through the end of the stadium.
Complete concentration. Miss hit it down on the throat. And again, it's break point for Borg.
Borg doesn't look like he's working as hard as Connors either.
I like Jimmy's style. Makes you feel like, you know, he's working harder, but Borg's been running plenty, and you watch that violent swing at the ball, particularly on the forehand side. He puts plenty of effort into his shots, too. Good anticipation by Connors.
Yes.
one thing, a quality that all the top players have is they'll fight you to the bitter end. They're competitors. They don't get that scared when under pressure. They learn to handle it.
What they ever accuse either one of these two of, not giving it everything they had.
That's right.
But that's how you get there.
That's out. And again, it is break point for Borg. Once Borg makes you half volley, Pat, you know, you can't hit it very hard, and if you don't get it real deep, he's just deadly on the passing shot. So Borg has broken for the second time in the second set and leads 4-1.
It's a high-speed game, and we've got you connected. At TennisChannel.com, our members-only newsletter is just a click away. Sign up, and we'll deliver the players, the passion, and the personality of your favorite game right to your email. From the pros in action to your personal satisfaction. Plus the latest on Tennis Channel shows, specials, sweepstakes, and events. It's just not tennis without the net. TennisChannel.com. It's a star-studded night of tennis. The 2008 WTT All-Star Smash Hits. Premieres Saturday at 5:30 p.m. only on Tennis Channel.
I've got an amazing fitness tip to develop explosive serves. Wouldn't you love to step up to that baseline and hit a rocket like a Roddick? Well, all the great servers of the game do one thing, and that's develop great leg drive, sending that energy up into their arms. The simple exercise we're going to do is called the medicine ball launch. You grab about a 3 or 4 pound medicine ball, you put it in the center of your chest. You're going to deeply descend into your knees, and then you're going to extend up into the air with the ball and let it go nice and high. Mike steps up, grabs the medicine ball in the center of his chest, emphasizing the deep knee bend. He's going to drive down and then exhale, shoot it up to the sky. He's going to grab a ball, step up, and do a serve. And when he's serving, he's now thinking about that deep knee drive. Yes, beautiful. If you work on this kind of stuff, in no time, you're going to be sending missiles across the court.
For more one-minute clinics, go to TennisChannel.com/OMC.
Hi, I'm Robbie Ginepri, and you're watching Tennis Channel, home of the slams.
Next Saturday, CBS Sports presents the NASCAR Sprint Championship, which is a 50-mile race for those who won pole positions in any of the 30 NASCAR Grand National events in 1978. Among those who are entered, Cale Yarborough, Bobby Allison, David Pearson, Benny Parsons, Darrell Waltrip, Buddy Baker.
5 places, 6 places.
Classic Field next Saturday at 4 Eastern Time for the NASCAR Sprint Championships. Pat Summerall with Tony Trabert at Boca West Racket Club. Watching the Pepsi Grand Slam finals, and right now it's been all Borg. Best I've ever seen him play.
Well, at least today, Pat, every time Connors has gotten Borg even position, he has really had to make a tough volley if he wasn't passed. So Borg has just been phenomenal.
He's run everything down.
He can't get to that one. Give you another look. I think Borg hesitated after he makes this shot. Let's see now. He sort of hesitated. He stopped a second before he realized that maybe he did have a chance and got there just as it bounced the second time. Back to the live action. Double break point for Connors. See, Pat, I think that's a kind of a point where Jimmy didn't show good patience at all. That ball was up and away from him, and it's too tough to try to hit a winner or such an aggressive shot from that position. Still break point. Jimmy Connors fights back and gets one of those service breaks back. Borg now leads 4-2 in the second set. That is the first time Connors has broken Borg's serve. A lot of the people pulling harder for Connors. They want to see more tennis.
Shadows all the way across the court now, so that's not as much of a factor as it was earlier.
Right, and the lights have been on, so conditions are good. Well,
Jimmy motioned up at the lights like they might not be so good.
Of course, dusk is always difficult. It's not really dusk yet, but getting the shadows late afternoon and dusk, whether you're driving a car, whatever it is, more difficult to see.
Third row.
Spectators always love to see that kind of a smash where it goes up in the stands. From a player's standpoint, that's the easiest ball to hit close to the net, and it's a safe way to keep a guy like a rabbit like Borg from tracking it down.
Is he the quickest today around the court, you think? Borg, I mean?
Well, Gerolaitis is quick. There are a lot of them, but he's certainly very, very quick. Yeah, indeed. Boy, oh boy, that was an awful close ball to let go.
Oh, yeah. Connors looked down at Borg and indicated, yes, it was out.
He also looked some people behind him saying, ooh, that was close. Borg's shot had hit, so it had extra topspin on it, if that's possible, coming from a guy like Borg. You have extra topspin.
Racket of Borg's is strung so tightly, it's like hitting it with a board, almost.
He brushes the ball a lot coming up the back, but I've never heard of a player wanting a racket strung at 80 pounds like he does.
They have to put an extra layer
of laminates on it.
Yeah. Or else the strings would collapse it.
It's 30 all. And now it's break point for Borg. In this case, errors by Connors is getting him back in trouble.
Game he needs badly. Break point, Borg.
Good serve by Connors. Swung Borg wide, well out of position. Connors straightened the strings out in his racket. I think it's sort of a nervous habit as much as anything. He seems to do it all the time. Connors has the advantage. He's 1 point away from closing the gap to 3-4 in the second set. Borg has won the first set 6-2. Just long. Come over, fell back on Connors' side. Boy, oh boy, that was a short ball sitting up and say, hit me. Connors caught the tape. Back to deuce.
Borg 6-2 in the first set. Up 4-2 in the second.
Press conference after he defeated McEnroe, Connors said, I only play the game one way. I've got to play my own game. And really, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to cut down on his own errors, but it's just not in him to stay back there and rally too long. Borg's going to come up and show the mark. Okay, the linesman says he doesn't see it.
Did you call it? 4.
Mike Blanchard handling things so well as he always does, it seems.
Well, you know, the ball left the mark, Pat, and Borg walked up and circled the mark.
It was. Please. Mike says 2 serves.
That would be because of the delay. Normally, if there was no delay, it would not be 2 serves. It was called a fault.
Borg doesn't like it too much.
He's not going to say much. Go play.
He looked up at Leonard Biglin.
So Connors has held his serve, and Borg now leads 4-3 second set.
In the early 80s, and I think it was a Miami newspaper, and they were saying the most heinous figures of the 20th century.
And you were?
I think it was like Charles Manson was 1, Jack the Ripper was 2, I was 3, and Attila the Hun was 4.
That ball was out! The set was over! Third violation of sportsmanlike conduct.
I was comfortable being who I was, and that was the best thing for me to be the best player in the world. And I wasn't going to compromise that, my integrity. And I wasn't going to have an image, or wasn't going to get a publicist. I wanted to be a tennis player.
Mum sort of called me a Jekyll and Hyde sometimes, you know. On the tennis court, I've got that very competitive edge, I guess, and that comes from being brought up in, you know, a sporting background. When I'm off the court, I'm more private side, I guess, than a lot of other people.
Andre Agassi trained in Las Vegas for most of his professional career.
In Andre's case, it was training for a couple of decades of tournaments and home served as well. This is a place of character, dreaming, taking chances, taking risks, and every now and then doing what hadn't been done before. Our training center here is pretty special. It happens to be the home of the 8 Grand Slam trophies and the Olympic gold medal. And these trophies are in here. Andre and I are often asked why, and we both believe that this is where he earned it. We're dreamers. We're just dreamers, man. Do you think you can do it? Let's see. Let's see if we can do this. So let's play well into your 30s. Do you think you can do it? Let's see. and that's Las Vegas.
For more information on cross-training in Las Vegas, go to tennischannel.com/Vegas.
The Grand Slam of tennis at the Boca West Racket Club. We're in the second set of the final between Jimmy Connors and Bjorn Borg. And Borg would serve, leading 4-3 in that second set. Just got through changing shirts. Make him feel a little fresher, Tony?
Well, it's getting a little cool now. It's later in the day, so a wet shirt, it's harder to stay warm. That's wide. Perfect passing shot. Borg stretched out wide on the forehand. Just rolled it right down that line inside about 6 inches or so. 30 love. I couldn't tell whether Connors was trying to actually make a drop shot or just pull it off short down on the forehand side of Borg, but he caught the net, so it's 40-15.
You won't see that happen very often. Borg hit one that far out.
Not unless he's mishit it. And that was not a mishit. 40-30.
Borg leads 4-3 second set. He won the first one 6-2.
Good quick feet by Connors. Take another look. When he stretches out to make this volley, watch how quickly he retreats because he expects the lob. Now watch, he backs up immediately. Good little short steps. Got off the ground well and knocked off the overhead. And back the action is deuce. Connors has hit that tape 3 or 4 or 5 times now where that ball's jumped up in the air. And in every case, it's fallen back on his side.
Advantage goes to Borg.
That's wide.
Every game, every point is important, Tony, but this is one that Connors just about got to have.
Yeah, I agree with you. And he's in that close. I mean, the game is close now, and so needs it and wants it badly.
Comes Borg.
race now. Borg has guessed on two-handers. One went cross-court, this one down the line, and he's picked them both off. We'll take another look. The offensive lob, and Borg just barely got the tip of his racket on. Now watch, he waits and then guesses up the line and just blocked it into the open court. Unbelievable. We come back live, and it is advantage to Borg.
I'll say again, I've never seen Borg better than today.
Oh, he's done everything right. Good example of theory. Connors attacked straight up the middle, cut down the angles. Borg in return went right back to him, figuring that Connors wouldn't be able to penetrate him with a volley, but Jimmy hurt him with a good deep volley, so it's back to deuce. Again, Borg has the advantage.
Barely hit the top of the net. Well, what a treat to see. Two great like this.
Hammer and tone
in a battle like this.
Perfect forehand passing shot, and Borg has won his serve after quite a struggle. Connors will be serving at 3-5.
Borg leads 5 games to 3.
Borg has won this championship 2 years in a row. He is with his back moment. $150,000 goes to the victor.
Didn't get it. Glad we talked about it before, but when Connors makes that two-handed drop shot, he takes the racket up above the flight of the ball just as he does when he's going to drive the two-hander, and that's where the disguise comes in. And as a result, you can't tell until he's actually executed the shot whether it's a drop shot or not. He did it from well inside the court, too, which helps. Just missed.
That's the first one for Connors. I'm not sure he agrees with the call.
I know there's some people in the audience that doesn't agree, but that often happens. That ball was clearly long.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, what happens to you as a player when you lose confidence in a lines person. Anything close after that, you think you're getting robbed, and it sometimes is more difficult to concentrate.
It's 30 all. Borg just 2 points away.
And it's now match point for Borg.
30-40.
Boy, Connors gave Borg a real free swing at that passing shot. His approach shot was not deep at all, and it was not hit with that much authority. One of the few times Borg sort of yanked at that passing shot instead of keeping it smooth. Connors is still alive.
1 match point saved.
Missed it and is wide.
This is the crowd now. Someone just said, let's go, Guillermo.
That time, Connors tried the drop shot from around the baseline, got it too deep. Borg got in to hit the winner with no difficulty, and it's deuce. Match point for Borg. Borg has hit several forehand passing shots up the line, and that time he rolled it cross court.
Second time it has been match point. 6-2, 6-3. Borg was superb several times during the match, but I had never seen him any better. Do you agree?
Well, Pat, I have to say so. I have obviously not seen him play all his matches. He had to be awfully good when he won Wimbledon.
Okay, we'll be back at Boca West for more of the Pepsi Grand Slam of tennis after this word from your local station.
November 15th, 1994, Martina Navratilova completes her Hall of Fame singles career at the Virginia Slims Tour Championship. In the ceremony after, she is awarded with a Harley-Davidson, and a banner is raised in Madison Square Garden commemorating her stellar career in which she captured 18 Grand Slam singles titles. Now that's what you call a major achievement.
Stars of court and screen teamed up for a day of play to make a difference in the lives of some special kids at the Bank of the West Pro Celebrity Tennis Classic, hosted by Luke and Murphy Jensen.
Everybody wins. There are no losers, and it's great.
The day started with a star-studded Pro-Am.
The Pro-Am, I was happy. I hit a really good serve.
The celebrity exhibition was also entertaining.
I'm trying to be funny. I just see what happens.
But the kids' clinic was the biggest highlight.
You know, you just want to come out, make it a fun experience, and it's for a great cause at the same time.
Proceeds from the day-long event and evening gala helped several charities and wouldn't have been possible without Bank of the West.
It's heartwarming and it's also inspiring. It's wonderful to make the contributions for the kids.
It's very close to my heart because you feel it really could happen to anyone.
Just a single chromosome that separates you or me from someone with Down syndrome.
Well, as a tennis player, we're so fortunate to do something we love to do. It's just a great way to give back.
Today was amazing. You got to see where the money was going.
Hi, I'm Andy Murray and you're watching Tennis Channel, home of the slams.
And so another Grand Slam of tennis, this is the fourth one, has been completed. And for the third time out of those 4 years, the champion is Bjorn Borg, and each time he has beaten Jimmy Connors. In 1977, he beat Connors 6-4, 5-7, 6-3. Last year, 7-6, 3-6, 6-1. And this year, 6-2, 6-3. 1976, Eli Nastase won this championship.
And the president of PepsiCo Incorporated, Mr. Andy Pearson.
Right now, let's go down to Andy Pearson, who is the president of PepsiCo Incorporated.
This is the third time you've emerged as the winner. I think all of us who saw the match today would agree that you're a true champion in every sense of the word, Bjorn. I don't know what it is that gets you up for this particular match, whether it's the fact that the winner receives about $75,000 an hour, or the fact that he establishes himself as the #1 player in the world. But it's my great pleasure to award you this top prize of $150,000 for winning today's Pepsi Grand Slam. Congratulations, Bjorn. And I know that all of us would like to hear some of your thoughts on winning the Pepsi Grand Slam.
Well, as you said, this was the third time I'm down here, and actually I have to say that I'm feeling very well down here because I've been winning now 3 times, and I think every year I've been playing very well. And today's match against Jimmy, I was playing very well, and this was the first time we played this year. It's going to be many more matches between us, 79. So maybe next time he's going to beat me. So we just have to see. And then I will thank Pepsi to putting on all this money and giving me free Pepsi during the week. That's very nice.
I wonder if that had anything to do with your winning.
I don't think so.
Well, thanks very much, Bjorn. You're a great champion and a marvelous gentleman. We thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Jim? And now, I guess those cheers, Jim, tell you better than anything I could say what this crowd thinks of the tremendous battle you put up. There's no more courageous or gifted player in the world than Jimmy Connors. Nothing I'm going to say to somebody as competitive as you are is going to make today any more happy, but I would like to present you $75,000, and I assume since you're in tennis, at least in part because it's your profession, a $75,000 payday isn't half bad, Jim. Congratulations to you, pal.
Well, thank you very much. I don't think any event would be anything unless you people would come out, so I'd like to thank you people here for the support that you give to the tournament and to the players. You people here are what makes a tournament, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure everybody else does. Hey, I love you too, baby. I'd like to thank Pepsi for being the sponsor of the tournament. The tournament is, as always, you get the 4 best players, I think, at the time in the world, and I have myself and Bjorn and Guillermo and John McEnroe, so I think you got the best tennis that you could get for this weekend anyway, so I hope So I'd like to thank you all very much again, and I hope I come back again next year. Thank you.
Okay.
My colleague Tony Trabert has gone down to the court, and hopefully when we come back in just a minute, he'll have an opportunity to chat with the champion from 1979's Grand Slam of tennis, Bjorn Borg. So if everything works, Trabe will be back with him in a minute.
I'm Mr. December.
Some of the sexiest guys on the ATP Tour are taking it off in the debut edition of the official player calendar.
It's a big honor for me to be in this calendar. It was my dream to become a professional tennis player. So here I am today doing stuff like modeling.
The 2009 calendar features striking pictures of players from 12 countries taken by French photographer Corinne Debril.
I wanted to find a photographer who could capture the sensual essence, but make it classic and sophisticated.
Definitely the first time I've taken pictures with our shirts off. It was a little embarrassing, but it's still fun.
The idea for the calendar was born at a tournament where fans were crazy for Dmitry Tursunov.
A lot of the women fans were screaming after him, wanting a date, wanting to get married.
Who doesn't like to feel maybe a little bit admired for the fact that they work hard and they look good?
After this taste of modeling, will any of the guys be making a career change?
No, tennis is enough. I don't want anything else.
For calendar info, go to tennischannel.com.
A tennis match is much more than just a contest of racket skill. It's also a contest of will. When a match ultimately is decided, it will usually be because one of the two players has felt dominated and gives in mentally. One of your objectives in a tennis match is to bring your opponent to this point. If you're strong and impervious to anything your opponent might do, he tends to feel weak. You walk and carry yourself in the same manner no matter what happened on the last point. You want to give the impression that basically nothing your does can hurt you, and number two, that you have the answers to anything that's happening on court. Because when you bring your opponent to this point where he's dominated by you, and things then start to go wrong for him, much more likely to give in and ultimately lose.
For more one-minute clinics, go to tennischannel.com/OMC.
Tony Trabert, our Davis Cup captain, has the winner, Bjorn Borg, and the runner-up, Jimmy Connors, down on the court right now. So Well, let's go down. You got it, Captain.
Thank you very much, Pat. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to talk to two great champions. Jimmy Connors, our runner-up here for the third straight year, and Bjorn Borg, our champion, who is three-time Wimbledon champion, also three-time Grand Slam champion. Bjorn, congratulations.
Thank you, Tony.
Have you ever played a better tennis match than you did today?
No, I think probably it was one of my best matches. I felt very good out there, and I think I was moving very well. I always came right to the ball, and I think I always was one step ahead of maybe Jimmy. Maybe that's why I was playing so well today.
Jimmy, how about your analysis of the match in general?
Well, I just kept playing my normal game, and Bjorn hits the ball very short and with a lot of topspin, so I just kept coming in and hitting the approach shot. I think maybe, I could have maybe done a little bit more with my approach shots at times, but I wasn't going to stay back and play a different kind of game, to stay back and just poop the ball back. That's not my style. It's never been my style. So I enjoy playing the way that I was taught, and that's the way I played today.
Well, the way you were taught's been awfully good. Your record's been super, but I was saying to Bjorn, he played well. He made very few errors, and he also stole a few. What about those two-handers he picked off at the net?
Stole a few. He got, I maybe should have held the ball a little bit longer and let him move a little bit before I hit. When you're going, and he got to a lot of balls that I ripped a few, and he just stuck his racket out and poked them back and hit them pretty firm, actually, at times. So yeah, he played very well today.
In retrospect, what would you do differently if you could do it all over again today?
Well, my game was my game, Tony, and I would probably just do a little bit more with my approach shots and maybe try to see the ball a little bit better on the short ones and move in a little bit quicker, I think, on the short ones. But outside of that, I thought I hit the ball quite firm.
Bjorn, how about your feelings about the match? I know your game plan is basically the same. Keep it going, let them come in and try to make the passing shot.
Yeah, that's usually my strategy on play, to keep the ball in play and try to keep the good depth on the ball. And my game is to play from the baseline and hit a lot of rallies. So I've grown up in this kind of surface in Europe, and that's the way I'm playing. And I think what Jimmy said, he was missing a lot of approach shots today, but I think I was passing very well from forehand and back. I make a lot of good passing shots.
I would say that's a fair assumption. Jimmy, when you're coming in against a fellow like Borg, do you think perhaps you or anyone else might press a little bit on the approach shot, knowing that he does pass so well?
I think a lot of players do. I don't know if I'm pressing too much. I think that I should just. It's not whether you're trying to make them too good at times. You're staying back and you're working for the short ball. And my whole game has been, since I've been playing, was to wait for the short one and go ahead and go for it. And come in and try to make the volley. But like Bjorn said, he hit a lot of good passing shots off both sides today. So this time was one time. Tomorrow's another time. We've played a lot of great matches between the two of us, and we're going to play a lot more great matches as our careers go on. So this was a good one today for him. Maybe tomorrow's a good one for me. So I'm working at it.
Well, we know that Bjorn said that in his speech, that you will be playing many times against one another, and as he said, maybe next time you'll come out the victor. Let me just go back a little bit. I was not fortunate enough to see your match at Wimbledon, but your tactics, are they the same on grass as they would be here?
Well, it's completely different game, completely different surface. Grass is much faster than this one. Here you can stay and maybe have a rally for 15, 20 times, and grass it's very difficult because the bounce is very low, and sometimes the grass is very bad to win. So it's two completely different games. There's no way you can compare them.
So you attack more, you come in more behind your serve?
Yeah, on grass I will play a little bit more aggressive than I do on clay, for sure.
And of course, Jimmy, for you, you're going to be coming in all the time on a grass court.
Well, I didn't at Wimbledon. Maybe if I thought at Wimbledon I should have attacked a lot more. I'd stay back and we'd hit some balls, and Bjorn would hit the topspin short again, and I wouldn't take advantage of it. Maybe 2 or 3 times a point I had a chance to come in, but during the summer I worked on it, and by the time the Flushing Meadows came around, when he hit the short one, I would take it and come in, and that's basically my game anyway, is to attack, and once the ball is short, then I'm going to come in.
Okay, Jimmy, thanks very much to you, and Bjorn, thank you for your kindness, and now let's go back to Pat Summerall.
And thank you very much, Tony. Thank you very much, Jimmy. And thank you very much, the champion, Bjorn Borg. Those are the scores as Borg wins the Grand Slam of tennis.
Borg's easy victory marked the beginning of a sea of change in his rivalry with Connors. That year, Borg would win all 6 of their matches, losing just 2 sets to a man who had previously held the upper hand. Meanwhile, Connors' 1979 was marked by significant personal change, including the adjustment to marriage and the birth of his son, Brett. So consistent had Jimmy been over the last 5 years that it was considered a slump for him to finish the year ranked only number 2 in the world on the ATP computer. Edition of Tennis Channel Classics and our presentation of the Pepsi Grand Slam. I'm Kevin Frazier, and of course, we'll see you next time.